Okay, great. Hi, my name is Raquel Sartaguda. I'm from home San Francisco, and we are hosting this particular workshop for our veterans. Um, this particular workshop is called Programs for Veterans, and it's currently being presented to us by friends at Swords to Plowshares and also from the Metropolitan Fresh Start House. You should by this time you should be seeing my PowerPoint. And then we'll go through this PowerPoint. But before we begin, I want to go over some housekeeping information and also information about Home San Francisco. So, as I mentioned, we are the one providing and facilitating this one. This particular workshop is being recorded. This is for the purpose of being able to provide this as um, a, a- an educational tool later on, and we'll be releasing this on our YouTube channel so that people can access it on demand. For this particular webinar, we have basically provided a Q&A icon on the toolbar, and this is where you would be able to submit your questions for the panelists. If you are looking for that one, all you need to do is go to the control panel where you see all the different drawings and things like that at the bottom of your screen. If you do not see Q&A, just go ahead and click the three dots that says more, and then it should say Q&A and click on that one, and that should get you to the Q&A. So for the purpose of saving time, we want to be able to answer all the questions. So our panelists will be keeping an eye on the Q&A portion, or the Q&A to be able to answer those questions for you. Now, if you are having any technical difficulties, please feel free to email us at info@homesanfrancisco.org. Um, Moving forward with housekeeping, we also want to be able to provide more tools for you for accessibility. So if you would like to enable closed captioning as you're following along, we invite you to actually hover over again the webinar screen and see your toolbar. So whatever's at the bottom, and look for the CC as you notice, or CC button. It's the icon that says CC. Once you click that on, it will say closed captioning on. So that will actually signify which that your closed captioning is on. If you want to click for more languages, all you have to do is basically click the arrow that points up, and then you're gonna be given a chance to select the language there you where you want this to be on. We lost a person. We lost our attendee. Okay. So anyway, our attendee might show up again. So we want to go over and discuss who Home San Francisco is. As since this is a recording, we will make sure that this is available to others. Um, so Home San Francisco is basically initially a coalition between the five different member agencies in San Francisco that provides home buying assistance or housing counseling assistance, namely the five agencies that you currently see on our screen. However, outside of the five agencies, we also oversee a network of different other counseling agencies and housing agencies that provides assistance to the affordable housing programs of San Francisco. As Home San Francisco, we basically serve as a resource hub, not just for renters, homeowners, home buyers, and also people who are unhoused, but we also are a resource hub for the different agencies that provide services to the general public with regards to housing needs. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Randall, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Randall Flagg. I'm the VA Housing Navigator for Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshares has been around since 1974, serving veterans. Um, I'm been in this SS. The slide and presentation that I'm going to present to you today is one of our programs that Source has, and they strictly for homeless veterans. And it's called Supportive Services for Veterans and Families. The acronym for it is SSVF, and we use that terminology a lot. Supportive Services for Veterans and Families is a program that was initiated in 2012. I was the first person to be hired in our SSBF program. Um, I was hired from the inception, and at that time, they couldn't figure out whether they were going to keep transitional housing programs or go to housing first. We went out on the streets and triaged a lot of folks in San Francisco and the Tenderloin at night, and we found out that um, housing first and transitional housing programs were basically even. So they decided to go with the new way, housing first. So once we went to housing first, we had the SSBF program came into inception, and it's all about housing homeless veterans, getting all our homeless veterans off the street and inside. Me being a homeless veteran myself, in 1996, I came to Swords. They gave me a key to my own room, and I never looked back from that. And Swords to Plowshares has been helping and triaging veterans for since 1974, and I thank God for it because I would not be here today if it weren't for Swords. Next
Oh,
slide.
wow.
Swords to Plowshares is a community-based veteran service organization, VSO, that has served veterans since 1974, providing wraparound services for any veterans who served in the United States in the armed services, offering services to low income and homeless veterans and their families through the VA Supportive Services for Veterans and Family Program. As Swords to Plowshares helped nearly 1,000 veterans and families in obtaining and retaining permanent housing each year. We maintain a 90% permanent housing, 25% enrollment into our money management services. Yes, we do have money management services because it's not just enough to house veterans. Sometimes veterans it's hard to keep them housed. So sometimes veterans don't pay rent or have problems paying rent or paying their bills. We have an empowerment program, which is part of SOARS, which helps veterans stay on track and keep them housed. What that program requires the veteran is a voluntary program, but they was required to turn over their fiduciary benefits to us at Swords. We pay the rent and we give them the rest of their fiduciary benefits on a debit card so that that veteran stay housed and the landlord is happy and that veteran can do what he needs to do to survive in his unit and take care of himself. Next slide. Services provided upon eligibility. Every veteran has to qualify before he can actually get any of these services. We require him to bring in a DD-214. He needs an audible discharge or OTH. Um, OTH means other than honorable. If you have a dishonorable discharge, we would try to help you the best I can. We have general best we can, I'm sorry. We have general funds that we can help veterans who don't really qualify for veterans, but we still try to help them anyway. And we also have a legal team that helps the veterans pro bono with disability claims and discharge upgrades. So until the rules change, we're going to try to continue to help those veterans who have dishonorable discharges as well. So service provided upon eligibility is housing placement, eviction prevention. We have TFA, that's rental assistance. Once we house a program, the veteran may be eligible for 6 months to 9 months of rental assistance. We help them with utility bills and utility payments, security deposits, first month rent, moving expenses and assistance. We can even help with childcare. We can also help with transportation. Say if your car is broken down, we have funds set aside to where we can have your car repaired. We have assistance with obtaining, see, move that, Social Security benefits and VA benefits. We have we have representative payee service and money management services I told you about. Support, and we also have an employment and training program, which if veterans come in off the street and they don't have any income or don't have a job, we have a employment and training program which we can refer them to and try to get them into some sort of employment so we can keep them housed and housing stability. Next slide. Veterans with other than honorable, like I said, OTH, a better discharge is verified as government issued D-214, no bad conduct or no dishonorable discharge. If you have a bad conduct or dishonorable discharge, at that time you wouldn't qualify. But like I said, we have lawyers and they work hard for our veterans trying to get them discharge upgrades and disability claims. Veterans must serve at least 1 day of active duty of federal service. Only 1 day. If you went to the reserves, if you went in and you went straight reserves and went through basic training and you went through AIT and you went into the reserves and you're doing your reserve duty and 6 months down the line they call you up. All you need is 1 day and you qualify for all those VA benefits, at least 50%. Veterans who earn less than 50% average income in their county qualify for, oh, how did I get you guys down? Can't see. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I messed up. Okay. Okay, veterans who earn 50% or less of the average median income in AMI in their county qualify for their program at Source to Plowshares. AMI is 50% of each county, whatever their AMI is. San Francisco AMI is $41,050. That's amazing because it was super low 3 or 4 years ago. It's at a point now where most veterans do qualify for these services. It was a time where I didn't qualify because I made too much money. But now veterans qualify in San Francisco, San Mateo. This is the area median. The AMI in Alameda and Contra Costa County is 32. Next slide, please. Our, our San Francisco office is located at 1060 Howard Street, and we have an Oakland office located on 330 Franklin Street, Suite 100. I think everybody's kind of familiar with our San Francisco office. It's located in South the Market, and our drop-in hours are open from Monday through Friday, 9 to 12 p.m. and from 1 to 4 p.m. Appointments strongly encouraged. Next slide, please. Source to Plowshares. Source to Plowshares provide ongoing support to veterans and the landlords to avoid eviction. In-house payee services that we provide as well. Source to Plowshares linkage to other supportive agencies is important to our program. Source to Plowshares matches the veteran to your community. What we try to do is match a veteran to the unit and make sure he's safe and he'll be able to support himself, whatever community where he goes to. Source to Plowshares can serve as a source of potential tenants and when vacancy occurs. Connect veterans to subsidy at 110% of the FMR greater than the regular Section 8. When we have a program in Source that we just got, it's only 3 to 4 years around now. It's called our shallow subsidy program. When a veteran comes in and he go through our SSVF initial program, he has an opportunity to go into our shallow subsidy program. Our shallow subsidy program is a program that where Source to Plowshares pays half and a veteran pays half for 2 years. Now imagine that. We have a new shallow subsidy program where source to plowshares will pay half and the veteran will pay half up to 2 years. Next slide. Source to plowshares can broker solutions, finding veterans for the right unit. That was my biggest job and still is one of my biggest jobs is bringing in housing stock to source to plowshares. Finding the right unit for the right veteran, bring fewer evictions, and and if there is any issue, we are the one to call away from helping you and the tenant solve whatever issue that may arise. Source to Plowshares is committing to helping veterans find nice, clean, and safe places for our veterans and their families to live in and affordable. Another component is called HUD-VASH, which is designated by HUD and implemented by the VA. This allows most veterans who are vulnerable, as well as very low income veterans, to receive housing vouchers that is similar to Section 8 vouchers and ran through a local housing authority. It gives the landlord security that the rent may be paid, and if you have any property in Oakland, the Oakland Housing Authority will pay 110% fair market value rates for their units, which is more than a regular Section 8 voucher. The voucher also comes with a case manager from the local VA healthcare office and will help the veteran stabilize and maintain stability. Remember that this voucher can only be issued to military veterans, not the general public. Source to Plowshares also provides money management. It's a voluntary program where veterans' money is directly paid to Source whenever veterans receive his income. We pay the veteran's rent, and soon as he receives his money, the veteran receives the balance on a debit card. Next slide, please. My name is Randall Flagg. I'm the VA Housing Navigator. My centralized office is 330 Franklin Street, Suite 100. Oakland, California. And these are my numbers. You can email or fax me anytime for more information. Next slide. That's it. All
Thank
right.
you, Randall.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that the information was informative. And if you have any veterans in need, Swords to Plowshares is the place. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much, Randall, for that information. Anyway, I would like to transition now to Richard. I believe Richard, you'll be the one talking a little bit more about the Metropolitan Fresh Start House that you're a part of.
I'm gonna actually begin.
Oh, there we go. Let's go. Let's get started. Okay. Thank you,
All right.
Rod. Go ahead. The
All
floor is
right.
yours.
Thank you, Raquel. So my name is Rodney Kearney. I'm the executive director with the Metropolitan Fresh Start House program. I've been with Fresh Start for about 14 years now. And
Wow.
I will be first giving you an overview of the program. Richard Sudam, he is our senior case manager, and he's with us as well. He's been with the program over 18 years, nearly 20 years, and he will be on in a few moments to talk about how veterans can access the Fresh Start program and also be providing some key insight and challenges that he sees, as well as next steps and resources for veterans wanting to enter Fresh Start. Fresh Start, we are a community-based transitional living program, and we have partnered with the Department of Veterans Affairs Healthcare for Homeless Veterans Contractor Emergency Residential Services. And so we do provide emergency residential services to unhoused veterans in a safe and secure environment. We provide case management services that meet their basic needs, improve health, and facilitate their transition into permanent housing. Fresh Start, we basically receive unhoused veterans at a critical point in their life, and we guide them through a structured pathway toward stability, dignity, and long-term success. We facilitate the improving of their health, their physical, their mental, and emotional health, and prepare them so that they can do well when they get into permanent housing, such as what we heard from Swords to Plowshares programs. As a trusted VA partner, we serve veterans with compassion, accountability, and dignity, addressing the systemic roots of homelessness in a therapeutic community with structured recovery. We have been working with the VA and working with veterans for nearly 15 years now. As a program, we've been around since 1989, working with men in the San Francisco city and county, helping them to gain a fresh start in life. But it was about 2011, 2012, when we began working with veterans as a result of a contract with the Department of Veteran Affairs. And so we provide, you can go to the next slide, I'm sorry. So yeah, Fresh Start, here's our location in the outer Sunset right now at 1300 30th Avenue. The location is conducive of a recovery environment, because the men that we get into the program, a lot of them are in recovery or desiring recovery. And so the environment we're in now is conducive to that. We're near Fort Miley, so we can easily get them to their appointments to help in stabilizing their health. So that's one of the benefits to our program location right now, our proximity. A block away from the park, Golden Gate Park, maybe 10, 12 blocks from the ocean itself. So an environment very conducive to recovery and to men just really getting restored in their lives. Our accommodations. Every veteran has a safe and caring place, and they quickly call it home. Once they come to the program, they buy into that concept where this is your home as long as you're here. And they have their own bed, personal space, more than adequate bathroom accommodations. There's a kitchen that provides space for their individual food. And we have a cook that comes and professionally prepares 3 meals a day for them. And so there's plenty of food for them. They eat well at Fresh Start. But it's through our daily structure and accountability and this supportive peer environment that we help veterans to rebuild healthy habits and reacclimate them to normal living. So again, they can do well when they get on their own. All right, here's our Fresh Start mission. And this has been our mission for a very long time, restoring men to dignity, productivity, and purpose, or restoring them productivity or responsibility, if may be better there. But that's the ideal here. We want to make sure that the structure we provide is a mission-driven pathway for our unhoused veterans to rebuild their lives. We connect each veteran to their earned benefits, facilitate the stabilization of their health, and support their resocialization through daily structure and community. Our program helps them regain confidence, rebuild self-esteem, rebuilds life skills, and reacclimates them to a standard of normal living, again, preparing them to succeed once they move into permanent housing. Veterans rediscover dignity, responsibility, and purpose. They feel good about themselves through the things we provide in our program. And then when they're on their own in their own home, they really relate better and do much better on their own, having come through our program. Our objectives: to empower men to rebuild their health and secure stable housing, and to support lasting transformation by nurturing a renewed sense of responsibility for one's own health and housing stability. Fresh Start not only does facilitate the restoring of health and stabilizing housing, but we equip the men in our program to take ownership of their own health and their housing. And we do this by rebuilding daily habits that support long-term stability, and transformation. What this basically our objectives is saying is that we prepare men to care for themselves so they can succeed once they attain permanent housing through programs like Towards the Plowshare. As many of these men coming directly off the street are in conditions where not only do they not want to be around people, but people don't want to be around them. And so we help them to change all of that. And in our neighborhood where the men are in our program, the community has bought into them being there and recognize that they can not only trust them, but count on them to provide them with help. They see some of the neighbors struggling with something they're carrying, some groceries, or whatever the case is, they offer help. And so they have turned their lives around to now where they want to help because they're feeling better about themselves. And again, all of this helps them to continue that transformation. So that's a basic oversight of our program. Now, Richard's going to come on and he'll go ahead and take how veterans can access the Fresh Start program, as well as provide some key insights and challenges that we're seeing and next steps or resources. Richard?
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate Swords to Plowshares. Thank you, Raquel. Fresh
Thank
Start
you so
House
Can I say one thing before you get started about
Sure.
Fresh Start?
Absolutely.
Before I worked at Swords to Plowshares, and this is my 14th year, I worked for the Ozanam Center for 11 years. And I don't know how many people I've sent to Fresh Start over those years coming out of detox. And you did a fabulous job out throughout the years. You've lasted throughout the years. Keep doing an excellent job.
Oh, thank you, Randall. Swords to Plowshares is a big part of my referral service. And it's always one of the goals for the veterans that come through Fresh Start House. We're more than just a transitional house. We're also a stabilization unit that tries to facilitate veterans, meeting them where they're at and guiding them to improve the quality of their lives. Everybody that comes to Fresh Start House has different reasons for being there, besides just being homeless. Some have substance abuse issues. Some of them are unaware of the benefits that the VA has to offer, the benefits that programs like Swords to Plowshares has to offer, Inside Housing, different agencies in San Francisco that offer a better quality of life for veterans that haven't been able to take advantage of it up to this time. Some of them have certain financial issues that they struggle with taking care of their checks that they get every month. Some of them have difficulties maintaining their medications. Some veterans feel less than because they have to take medications. And these are the type of things that we deal with. For the first 2 weeks at Fresh Start House, I, as a case manager, try to get to know why we end up at Fresh Start House. And I always explain to people in the meetings that I run at Fresh Start that if you're in one of my meetings at Fresh Start House, there's something that needs to be addressed. And if we can open our minds and be willing to address it, we can improve the quality of our lives. And that's the basic thing. Veterans are survivors. And some of them have run into certain roadblocks that they believe prevent them from improving the quality of their lives. So we try to turn the light on and show them that there are better ways, that there is hope, and there's a future for everybody, regardless of age, creed, religion, or lack of religion.
Hello, Richard. Richard.
I'm hoping he can reconnect shortly. Maybe he's having some internet difficulties, but
It might be
let
possible.
me continue until he can get back in.
Sounds fair. Thank you. Thank you, Rodney.
And I'll just, Richard has given some details. I think we talked a lot about it. So I'm just going to talk about veterans accessing the program. We do need them to be triaged through the veteran clinic located at 3rd Street or through the VA Medical Center at Fort Miley. And that's because the level of care we provide is only up to a limit. Okay, they may have some dual diagnosis illness or mental illness that will keep them from being able to do well at our program. They may need greater care than we can provide. So the VA through the 3rd Street Clinic or through the Fort Miley Medical Center will triage the veteran and then be able to refer them to our program, knowing that the capabilities of our program will meet their needs. Some of the insights and challenges we're seeing are that the veterans that have come to their program had permanent housing. Some of them had HUD-VASH vouchers, but they weren't able to sustain it. And most of that I'm seeing was due to this self-destructing habits, some substance abuse addiction. In some cases, it was due to mental illness, but that made them going into their permanent housing. It created a system where that was almost like a revolving door, and a lot of them would end up back on the streets. Now, there's a great rate of success for Swords to Plowshare, for example, and for the HUD-VASH program, where a lot of veterans do continue and stay in their housing. But for our population, the veterans that we serve that again come right off the streets and are struggling with some dual diagnosis of either mental health and or substance abuse disorder, they need a lot more before they can do well on their own or in their own housing. So what we're seeing is challenges. That's one of the challenges that we're seeing is that the veterans are going into permanent housing and they do have support there, but they're not ready or wanting to get the support they need to do well. And so when they come to our program, we address that so that they're able to leave our program ready to take charge of their life in a responsible way. Richard's back on. So Richard, I'm going to let you pick it up where you left off or.
Okay, sorry, but I don't know what happened, but I'm back. And
okay.
There's certain agencies that I refer clients, veterans to that help the veteran along the way. We just, Swords to Plowshares, HUD-VASH, different housing resources that we use usually have some semblance of case management and support, which is very important for our residents. Our problem at Fresh Start House is getting the veteran to accept the help, to trust the help, and to be open to have a little faith in the programs that San Francisco has to offer. San Francisco offers the veteran more than I believe anywhere else in the country. And a lot of the veterans that come to San Francisco or that have been in San Francisco are unaware of the benefits that are available to them because of the lack of support they've experienced in other areas of the country. So when they come to San Francisco and see these things that are available, they look at it out the side of their face. And then they're wondering if this is true. And it's been my experience since 2010, since Obama started the HVAC programs for the homeless veterans, that it works. It gives veterans hope, and it definitely sets up the opportunity to improve the quality of their lives, which is my purpose in life. Housing will be there. Their checks are going to come in. They're going to have the opportunity to accept and to pursue a better quality of life. And once they get on that path, then, that's my purpose. The stabilization and the family reunification and the antisocial behaviors that can be changed are very important to us at Fresh Start House. And I appreciate all the housing opportunities, and Swords is more than just a housing program, and it keeps growing, and it's amazing what you guys do, and I appreciate it. And it's a big part of what I can do for veterans to channel them in that direction.
We appreciate you as well. One of my questions I want to ask, if I can.
Absolutely.
I have veterans that may need to be stable in the East Bay, in Oakland. They're not homeless in San Francisco, but they're Swords clients. Is it possible that they can receive your services even though they're not homeless in San Francisco?
Absolutely. We take homeless as the only requirement for Fresh Start House is similar requirements that you have. They have to be general honorable discharge, or they got to be eligible for the HVAC program, which is honorable discharge or other. And as long as it's not dishonorable or with consequences, they're eligible anywhere from the country.
One of the things that you guys talked about, and it's very important, very important. I mean, you can house a person, but they could be suffering in this house.
Amen.
Because they don't have the life skills and the skills to take care of themselves. Fresh Start is an organization where they can get a fresh start, learn some life skills, learn how to pay bills, learn how to do a whole lot of things before you get housed. And I'm so glad that you guys are around, because that's exactly what we need.
I agree. Appreciate that. And Raquel, show the next slide.
There's other agencies. There's other agencies in San Francisco that Fresh Start utilizes to enhance that support. So, I mean, we don't do it all. My job as a case manager is to place the veteran in a position and in a place where he can be helped. And there's a lot of organizations in the city that can do that. The VA itself, the Fort Miley and the downtown clinic, has all different opportunities and groups and outings and things to get the veteran to encounter life outside of the service. So, yeah, I mean, the possibilities are there, and it's growing. I thought it was waning for a while, but there's other agencies that are coming in. Storage is growing, Insight's growing. HUD-VASH is in trouble because of our current administration, but it's still available.
All right. Next slide, please. So this is a quote by President Barack Obama. As Richard said, it was under his administration that the Healthcare for Homeless Veteran Initiative had begun. And so he says our nation's veterans are an embodiment of courage and selflessness and are deserving of not only our thanks, but our support. And next slide. It also says, so long as there remains a veteran living on our streets, we have more work to do. And so at Fresh Start, we like to say, from homelessness to wholeness, we're about stabilizing, reconnecting, and preparing veterans for a fresh start on the rest of their life.
Okay, in order to come to Fresh Start House, veterans need to contact 401 3rd Street, the downtown VA clinic, or the VAMC at Fort Miley Hospital. Talk to a social worker, tell them you're homeless, tell them you want to come to Fresh Start House, and they'll do the referral. I'll go over the psychosocial. I'll go talk to the veteran. We can do same day acceptance. You don't have to stay on the streets. If you're on the streets and you want to get off the streets, contact the VA. Contact Swords to Plowshares. contact an agency that's aware of what Fresh Start House can do for you.
Or you can call us, next slide, and we'll get you connected with those services.
Thank you so much on that one.
That's the same number.
Thank you. I do have questions actually, that
Okay.
have come up. I've taken a lot of notes. This is such a great, you both have been such a great resource in getting to understand how everything is. Um, Actually, I'm gonna take it from maybe from the start, from when somebody's unhoused. So that sounds like we start with Metropolitan Fresh Start House, my questions. And then I'll actually have also a question for Randall, with regards to your services. I hope you don't mind. Um, so when you say, for example, I want to refer a person, I have a veteran who's come into my office as a counselor, and then basically they come in, they're asking for support, and then basically they say they're unhoused. Does the person need to have other barriers or other situations um that that are affecting their being in house? Should Is this specific only to people who may have had any type of, as you said, health concerns that accompany that, be it substance abuse, mental health situations, and things like that? Or is it open to anybody who may be in house that does need some sort of somewhere to start to get their lives stabilized?
You mean other than veterans?
Oh no, for veterans for sure. As I mentioned earlier, if
So
I
you
have a
want
veteran who comes into my
you
doors and say
you
like,
want Fresh
"Hey,"
Start or me or
so as I mentioned, I'm gonna start off with fresh start because this is a
okay.
person who is unhoused, who may have a lot of other instabilities that are happening in in their liir. However, of course,
It
the
would
most
depend on
primary.
it would depend on what it is. The only people that we're not allowed due to insurance issues and contractual issues that we're not allowed to bring into Fresh Start House are 290s, people that have legal issues around
Mm,
a 290.
got
Other
it.
than that, uh, I mean, we're a men's program. Uh, I'm also the intake coordinator, so I'll always talk to the individuals. Sometimes people might need a detox before they come to Fresh Start House, and we refer them to Salvation Army Harbor Lights for 76-hour, 5-day detox, depending on what they need. If they need a medical detox, we'd refer them to Fort Wiley Hospital if they need a medical detox. Uh, um, yeah, I mean, there's certain things that might prevent them from coming in, but usually, if they're a veteran and they have an honorable discharge, uh, we usually find a way to get them in if you know if we feel it's a good fit.
Additionally, if they are, as I think part of your question, Raquel, was, but if they are just having some other issues where, I don't know, maybe they lost their their job and can't afford to pay the rent that they had and are waiting to get onto a HUD-VASH program or something and need a place to stay, if they're a
Yes.
veteran, we can still work with them on that as well.
Oh, thank you. That's my
Right.
question. Thank you, Rod. But primarily, the most of the time, the referrals are coming from the VA clinic and the VA hospital. So it sounds like there has to be some outstanding medical concern that also accompanies their being in house. Is that correct?
Sure.
Especially when it comes to substance abuse or any type of mental health
Basically, just
situation.
if they're homeless, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll be triaged, and Richard will intake them. They can come there. The other issues that are with that, like I say, for the most part, we can help them. There's some cases we can't, but the main criteria is that they're unhoused and they need housing.
Got it. Thank you. And then in reference to the program, is there a particular timeline, or can anybody come in and leave indefinitely depending upon their progress?
Richard, you
Not
can answer
upset.
that one. How long do they come into the program? And
I mean, we're a 90-day program. If they haven't
Okay.
received housing within those 90 days, There's 30-day extension units. We've had people there for 30 days. We've had people there for a year. It depends
Got
on
it.
the individual. Everybody has a different
Great.
treatment plan. Everybody has
Right.
different issues. Some people need longer treatment. Some people are ready to move on. Some people have jobs. Some people are beginning a job. Some people come here from other states that are working and just can't afford the housing in San Francisco at the time. So they'll stay with us for 30 days, 60 days and move on. It depends.
Got
It's
it.
all individual basis.
I hear you. What type of programs exist to be able to stabilize the person within Metropolitan Fresh Start? Is there a jobs program? Is there a financial success program? I did one before with another group of people. So I wanted to see, are these some of the things that you do in house, or are they being referred out to other support services?
Both. I mean, we deal with both. We set up financial planning. We we refer for certain things. We have to refer for certain tax things. We have to refer for certain legal issues. We have to refer some uh, uh, psychological or emotional issues to different places. It
Got it.
depends.
Got it. Thank you. And one last question. You've met some, I believe, Rod, you mentioned about the HUD-VASH. Is that correct, or was it Richard? Some people will come in because they've lost their ability, they've lost their coverage through HUD-VASH. During their time at Metropolitan Fresh Start, is that something that you also assist people with?
Absolutely. And that's
Perfect.
done through the VA. That's done through the downtown clinic. It's done through some other agencies. Fortunately, uh, SSVF enables a veteran to be housed while they're waiting for a tenant-based voucher. And once their voucher comes into fruition or their
Right.
time limit runs up at SFVF, the voucher kicks in. Because when we first started this in 2010, the vouchers were issued within 2 or 3 weeks.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
now it's not like that anymore.
Oh, wow. I hear you.
It's a
Thank you
little
so
more
much.
timely.
A little bit more time. Thank you so much for the support that you've given there. If ever I do have any further questions with regards to getting people into the program, I will definitely keep in mind the links that you've provided. I know we have about 1 minute to the workshop, but I do have a question though for Randall. I do have a question for you. Um,
Mhm.
Randall, you mentioned that you have a shallow subsidy program that offers 50-50 assistance. Um,
Correct.
uh, with the shallow subsidy assistance, if, for example, somebody has already gone through the 2 years, is that renewable?
Yes, you can be recertified depending on your situation. Um, I've seen shallow subsidy veterans get to the end of their 2 years and the VA has informed them that they're getting a voucher, but their subsidy up. So what we would do is recertify 'em. Once we
Got it.
recertify, we're not going to put him out on the street. We're not going to stop working with him. We'll recertify him until his voucher comes through. And and the shallow subsidy program is a terrific program. It's not a program where we just paying your rent. It's a program where it gets you geared to paying rent because you're paying half and we're paying half for 2 years. I think it was a great deal that they implemented for the veterans. It's allowing them to pay half, stay in their unit for up to 2 years, and then they get their HUD-VASH voucher when they qualify. So
Uh,
so I think it has helped our organization stabilize a lot of veterans. Fresh Start has did an excellent job in San Francisco at stabilizing veterans for years. I know their program well. Um, but it's we need more life skill programs implemented in organizations so that these veterans that we get off the streets to have a good chance because
That's true.
I've seen so many veterans I've housed, and I've housed a lot over the years,
Correct.
that I get them in a house or in the unit or an apartment. 30 days later, I see them sitting on the sidewalk. I'm like,
Got it.
Yep,
I
hold
hear
up.
you.
that's
So,
true.
so I think if he'd have went to Fresh Start first, got some life skills, got some, been around people who doing the right thing, got and created a habit, he could have
Correct.
possibly done well once he got his unit. So
Correct.
for me, those are the things that I've been dealing with. I've been doing inspections and going checking on veterans, I've been doing, you know, you know, it's, those wellness checks, just
I
checking on
hear
the
you.
veterans to make sure that we put them there and they're okay. Because
I hear you.
I've had times where we didn't hear from them. They didn't come pick up the other half of the check. What's going on? So
Uh-huh.
they could be suffering in their unit because they haven't developed those life skills to keep
Correct.
themselves stabilized. So,
Correct.
so those are the
That's
things we're dealing with. Now we got the new era veterans that are coming in from Afghanistan, Iraqi freedom, those veterans coming in, and they have given these guys more resources than I've ever had.
I hear
They're,
you.
you got veterans making 6,000 a month now, not
Yep.
tax free. Yes. So they're able to support, and now they got housing allowance where they can get an
Mm-hmm.
additional $4,000 to, as long as they're in school and keep their grades up for housing.
Right.
So,
I hear.
so
Well,
they're doing well if you can get them stabilized.
I hear you. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and I do understand what you mean. Because we definitely see that a lot of times it's not the financial thing that actually sometimes puts a person in that position, but rather everything else that has happened that has affected their ability to manage their lives. And so
Yes.
I appreciate the work that you guys do. One more question though, for the subsidy, the assistance on the HUD-VASH. You mentioned that in Oakland, the HUD-VASH basically they can offer up to 110% of the fair market value. Now, let's say I have a San Franciscan who says like, "Hey, I want to actually go to Oakland." Is there a need for them to? Is there support for them to be able to transfer their HUD-VASH? HUD-VASH benefits, or that is actually accepted in Oakland as well as in San
They can
Francisco.
actually. It's the
Okay,
same process of you porting a regular uh, Section 8 voucher. It takes 21 days to port a voucher,
got it.
but that's a
And
process.
and that
And
would be something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
because they have to have a case manager to work on your case on the transfer. So they got 21 days to transfer it. I've
Got
did
it.
it before. It's not an easy process, but yes, you can port your HUD-VASH voucher to another county, but there
That
needs
is
to be another case manager that's going to take on that case because every HUD-VASH voucher has a case manager.
perfect. I hear you. Well, that sounds really good. It looks like we're about at 7:35 now. But I want to make sure that we've covered everything. There's going to be a lot of questions that I will have, Randall, and I will have for Rodney and Richard. Are the numbers and information that you have, and maybe other people will have questions regarding that. Is it okay for us to